Mr. Foamer Simpson, what's the worst basketball take you've ever had?
Oh, man. Damn. Right out of the gate. The worst basketball take I ever had was that Luka Doncic, his upside was capped because he wasn't a plus athlete.
Maybe you were right. The Mavs traded him because he was out of shape.
Got him
I
out of
guess
there.
I guess that has to do with athleticism. Look, the take aged well.
I don't know about that. But I mean, I knew he was going to be good, but I didn't think he was going to be like what he is. It's crazy to see how, I mean, you have him and Jokic, right? Two of the best players on earth, and neither one of them can jump over a phone book. That's like, I mean, I don't know. A new era is a new dawn or what?
Speaking of this, I've had a take that's been passed around the internet a little bit lately. I'm saying if you believe that this is the greatest generation ever, Jokic is by far the best player. So does that make him the GOAT?
No, but but I get it. I think I've seen that on Twitter a little bit. I get it. I mean, if he gets another MVP this season, where does that put him in the discussion? Um, I mean, he's awesome, man. He really is. I don't think he impacts the game on the defensive side enough to be in that discussion, but my God, he is good.
Yeah. So, I asked you your worst take. I was thinking about some of my worst takes. Hey, I don't have a lot of them. I can't lie to you, but
You don't have many.
I don't have many, especially on the draft. But I would say this before the season, I said the Knicks would win the title. And then I watched them play defense for the first week or two. And I thought to myself, this might be my worst basketball take. So I went on shows and said, I said it before. And then I realized I was looking too much at the depth and not at the star players who can't defend anybody. So I was thinking to myself, the take was bad. But then last night, they win a championship. Are you excited? Are you excited? Are you excited?
Listen, I'm pumped. I'm telling my kids that this was a Knicks championship. I was not excited the first couple weeks of the season, and I know the NBA Cup. I know it doesn't actually matter, but it's still, I get excited about it. Maybe that makes me I don't know what the word is. Guys just play harder. It feels like they're playing for something. That's my knock on the NBA and why I'm not probably as tuned in as I used to be, is because it just feels like everyone is sort of like not there's games that guys get up for, but it's kind of like with load management and pacing and all this stuff. It's just not, they're not out there playing like they were last night. Last night, you could tell they were playing for something. So whether it matters or it doesn't, I think the product that's on the floor was phenomenal, and I was excited about it, man. It was, and yeah, I'm taking it. I'm counting it as a championship for the
So
city.
you want to see the Knicks raise the banner?
Yeah, raise the banner. Raise the banner. We finally got one, baby.
It's league rules, but I think it's important to raise banners for this because in the short term, it feels a little ridiculous. But if you want to build this into something, you got to raise banners.
I think so. It seems like, from the outside looking in, it seems like the players are excited about it.
Well, yeah, look, when your 10th, 11th, 12th man is getting that $530K, that's a big salary bump for some of those guys.
That's a bag right there, man. Kolek out there just getting it done. Getting it done.
Kolek was getting to the bag. Jordan Clarkson. I thought Jordan Clarkson was actually the X factor this year.
Yeah, I'm not mad at that take. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's coming together nicely for us. Now we'll just see. Because the East is wide open. So see what we can do, man.
Here, from an optimistic point of view, the East is wide open, like you said, and everybody looks at OKC like some kind of juggernaut, which they are because they're on pace to beat the Warriors' record. But I would also say if Halliburton doesn't go down last year, they're probably not even champions this year, which to me tells me they're beatable.
I think they're definitely beatable. It's if the Knicks ever had a shot for it, I think it's this season.
Do you think they could get there defensively with Brunson and Cat?
That's the only thing, man. I
I
don't
think
know.
you and Buckets would just be like, getting them in pick and roll every action, right? If you were playing.
We would definitely put him in pick and roll. It's tough, man, especially in the playoffs. I mean, I don't know what the numbers are. I feel like guys get hunted more in the playoffs. A 7-game series where it becomes even more of a chess match and exploiting mismatches. Uh, I wouldn't feel great about it, especially against a team like OKC. Uh, hey, man, it's. I think we got a puncher's chance, is what I'll say.
I wanted to talk about YouTube with you because it's been something I've been focusing more on lately. And you're at 700K. I mean, a big channel. Is it fair to say that the algorithms now help the smaller creators more and kind of hinder the bigger creators because they just want to push good videos? You make good videos, but if a smaller creator makes a good video or a great video, it doesn't matter if they have 100 subscribers, it could go viral these days, right? Is there some
Right.
truth to that?
I think so. I think also like sometimes when you've been on a platform for a while, this is just, I don't have any, there's no science or math behind this, but just from what I have observed, I think when you've been on a platform for a while, the algorithm can kind of push you to the side a little bit in favor of up and coming creators, which makes sense. I understand it, right? Like if you've been there for a while, like you got to be careful not to get kind of stale and not to fall behind a little bit. It is tough, even with now my channel in the big scheme of things is still not really a big channel, but sure, it's like it's definitely not a new channel, and we do have a subscriber base, right? It's I think it's continuing to make good content to your point because I think ultimately the cream does rise to the top and that needs to be the focus. If you're going into it like, hey, we've been doing this for a decade, we have, X amount of subscribers or followers, we're just going to coast, that shit does not work. So, I think right now is a good time to be creating because it does favor better content. What's better content? Content people want to see. And obviously, there's now a push for short form content, which it was not that way at all when my brother and I started. When we started, it was all about the long videos. And now everything is a reel or a YouTube short or a TikTok. So, yeah, man, I think it's a good time to be in the space.
You mentioned short form, which is more my forte than even the long form. I'm working on the long form now, but it's like all you have to do is put time into it like a long form and it'll
Yeah.
go.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously the experience and the career equity goes into it as well, but you can't just throw it out there from AI. But then also, I want to hear your thoughts on AI. Do you use AI? Because I feel like if you're experienced with AI, it could give you like kind of, it could really get you ahead of the competition instead of somebody just trying to like hang their hat on only AI, if that makes sense?
Right. I do use like I use Chat GPT pretty often.
Yeah, me too.
I use it for smaller stuff, I would say. Like I'm not like we use it for like, tweaking, like a customer service email or that sort of stuff where I use it for research a lot of times. By the way, it is not 100%. It's not shooting 100% from the field on research. It will give you some false facts here and there, or will mix up dates or things like that. But
100%.
we do a lot of like sneaker content, obviously. So, okay, what game did Jordan debut the Jordan 11 in, and having to find, what was his stat line?
It makes work get done faster, and that means you
Exactly.
could put more out.
Exactly. It
Yeah.
does. So now we're not using it like, hey, chop up this long form video for us into a TikTok, two reels, something for X or Twitter. So, I mean, if you could do that, now you would really be cooking with grease. But yeah, we use it for more of like just the busy work, like kind of the grunt work of making content.
I think that actually could work for making short form from your long form, but it's just a starting point. You can't just throw out there what AI gave you. It kind of could find some of the good stuff, and then you have to put the work into that.
Exactly. It's a starting point for a lot of stuff. Or even if we're trying to think about how to title a video or what angle to take on something. A lot of times, we'll give ChatGPT a prompt. It'll give us 10 different things, and we don't use any one of those 10, but it's a starting point. It kind of, between you and it, you get to the final product. You know what I'm saying?
Do you feel like you have to niche down on YouTube, or anything could work? Because obviously you niche down big time with the sneaker content. Or do you think, there's creators that could talk about whatever they want on a given moment, and if they have an interesting perspective on it, because I do basketball content, but I talk about hip hop. I talk about, even had a wrestling episode lately. Like, what are your thoughts when on YouTube with like niching down?
I think keeping it niche is probably the safest bet.
Yeah.
Because you can really grow kind of not just a viewership, but kind of a community that's into the same stuff. Now, to your point, a lot of this stuff there's overlap, right? And like things intersect. Basketball, sneakers, fashion, hip hop, like that's all part of the same culture. So, I think you can do stuff like that. If you get too all over the place, now I'm sure there's outliers and exceptions and people who have done that and been
Well,
successful.
I think there's some of the biggest podcasts in the world probably have done that, right? If you think
Yeah,
about like the big ones.
right. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I mean, you I don't think there's one blueprint to get to where you're going or to like become successful, on a podcast or in social media or whatever, or content creation. It's kind of what works for you, and you know this too, I'm sure. It is a little bit trial and error, right? You have to see what works for you. What works for the next guy might not get motion for you, but something else does. So it's kind of one of those things where you got to find your way.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, there's definitely little combos out there. Like they try and make these hot takes, but the thing is like, I really believe everything I'm saying. So like, and they don't sometimes, and they're just, just spewing this, and it doesn't have the same authenticity. I try and lean into the things that I believe, but others might find crazy, but I definitely believe it, and I think
Right.
that's important, authenticity.
100%. Yeah, I think especially now when there's so many people creating content, I think it's like more important than ever to be authentic because that's how you're kind of going to find your people and your audience and
Yeah.
people who rock with you. If you're not giving them authenticity, that's the thing. No matter who you are or what your sports takes are, your perspectives, right? They will land somewhere. You will find an audience if you're creating good content and putting and being consistent and putting effort into it. So, yeah, no, being yourself, and definitely in sports, you can tell when someone is just saying something to get clicks or when they actually believe it and have put some real thought into it. So, no, I'm with you on that.
And for new creators, I always think of like what Mr. B says, like make 100 videos first and come talk to me, instead of like being upset that your videos aren't seen. And then another thing is your videos probably shouldn't be seen at that point, right? Before the
Right.
first 100, a lot of
Right.
times.
Yeah. It's a lot of people want to get into, social media or they want to be, TikTok famous or whatever you want to call it, right? But a lot of work goes into it. And again, with anything, there's going to be exceptions. Someone who just, the Hawk to a girl or something where you do something that goes is so viral, right? Where you get so much motion out of the gate that it's a crazy head start. But generally speaking, yeah, you got to put work in, man. Like you have to be consistent. I've had a lot of homies like, yo, man, I want to start a podcast. I want to start a YouTube channel. Okay, but you can't do 2 videos, then wait a month, do another one. It just like you have to be consistent.
I could give somebody all the sauce, but they still won't be consistent. Like I could tell them everything, and they just
100%.
won't.
You got to
They
put the work
they
in.
they just won't do it.
You got to
I
get your
tell them like I see what they're doing on short form, and I'm like, you shouldn't do this. Like, don't like put some work into it. Just don't throw it out from what you get from AI and throw it out there and like have some sort of entitlement that oh, this is good. People should watch it.
Yeah. And I think people look, we all think like, hey, people should watch our videos. But the truth of the matter is there is a sea of content out there and the algorithms do a pretty good job of pushing the content that people are telling those algorithms they want to see. So
Right.
if I see often it's like, and even with myself and my brother and us, like sometimes as a creator, you make something, it doesn't get a lot of traction. And I think there's a tendency to be like, oh, kind of be disgruntled about it. The truth of the matter is that's the audience telling you, yo, this ain't it, or you're not there yet, or we need to see more of this before we jump on board. And I don't think enough people think that way. I think they think it's like the instant gratification. They want it now. They want 100,000 followers overnight, and it just doesn't really work that way, man.
So it's interesting. My son's getting to an age where we could actually watch the same videos, and we do watch Mr. Beast. And I'm like, okay, this is the biggest YouTuber in the world, so I could like learn things from him. But it's funny, you talk about authenticity. I talk about authenticity, but it feels like some of the biggest YouTubers in the world are just Mr. Beast clones. It does feel like that.
Yeah, I think maybe when you get reach those sort of heights like Mr. Beast, then there can be kind of like the spin-off channels, or people are so interested. It's almost like when you become that big as a creator, it's kind of like it almost becomes like its own genre, sort of. And I think you can see that happen with a lot of like the people who are. I mean, I don't know how many subscribers he has, but a gazillion.
Right.
So yeah, no, I've definitely seen that with other big creators too.
Has sneaker culture peaked?
No, I wouldn't say it peaked. I mean, it's in a little bit of a lull right now, and so you'll see people are like, "Oh, sneakers are dead." Man, I've been around long enough to know that. I mean, people have said that so many different times, right? It's like there's an ebb and flow to everything. There's highs and lows, and right now, sneakers seem a little bit like it's not quite the hype isn't quite the same. Resale prices aren't the same. It's just the hysteria around sneakers seem to have kind of come down some, but I think we'll see another spike like we always do. I mean, there were times in the past where it felt like this as well, and then all of a sudden something happens. I think a lot of it because you have to go buy sneakers. I think a lot of it is economy based as well. I'm not an economy major, but it's I think that is part of it. I think during COVID, I think there was more expendable income, and people were online shopping, and social media was booming, and I think it was kind of a culmination of things that really kind of skyrocketed sneakers a little bit. But it'll come back, man. I wouldn't say it's peaked. I would say it's just in a little bit of a recession right now.
It's really cold right now in New York, so I've been on the Tims and the New Balance 9060s. I get excited to wear the New Balance 9060s, bro. Yeah.
I mean, you're a dad, man. So those are like those are the fly dad kicks right there. New Balance, a lot of other places wasn't really popular. New Balance was always popular in New York City.
True.
So I feel like it's kind of like maybe not like I know like DC started it and all that stuff, right? So props to them. But I think the Northeast in general has always been, pretty heavy New Balance. And so it's kind of cool to see New Balance get more mainstream recognition, I'll call it. But man, I always got a couple pair. I'm not a dad, and I always got a couple pair of New Balance in the rotation, man. You can't go wrong.
You got a lot of sons out here, man. A lot,
I do got a lot of sons, man.
lot of sneaker content sons. You know what I mean? I said it, not you. Yo, if you could only have 3 pairs of sneakers for the rest of your life, what would those sneakers be?
We talking about a sneaker model, or are we getting right down to the colorway?
Let's go specific.
Specific, okay. Man, that is a tough one. I'm gonna go with the black cement Jordan 3. For me, it's the most wearable Jordan. Growing up, the Jordan 11 was always my favorite, and I still think I would put the Jordan 11 at the top of the mountain, so to speak. Just impact and just how it changed things, but wearability wise, for me, I think the Jordan 3, the Jordan 1 has to get some consideration too, but I think the black cement Jordan 3 got to be on the list. I'm gonna go with the all gray New Balance 990. I just think that's as classic gets. I think it's the most comfortable all day wear, and it's fly shit. So, man, what would that? The third pair probably has to be something I can hoop in. I'm not going to say the uncivilized sneaker because I'm going to say the Kobe 6.
Mm.
Just because there's so much nostalgia with the Kobe 6. Is it the best basketball sneaker of all time? No. It's a great basketball sneaker. And I guess we're getting specific. I'm going to go the Grinch. That's my favorite colorway.
So you went Jordan 1s for the first one?
No, black cement Jordan 3.
Okay.
I went all gray New Balance 990, and I went Grinch Kobe 6.
So the thing is, I feel like for me, a Jordan 1 would have to be in there in case you got to like wear a suit, at some point.
That's fair. I guess I would just have to thug it with the threes. The problem with the ones is, and it's not like it's not like you're walking on clouds, but man, a lot of those ones are pretty uncomfortable, man.
I always thought about it. Here's an idea. Why doesn't Jordan make a hooping 1? Like they look exactly like the ones, but you could hoop in them.
Yeah. Yeah, I think they did something where they kind of tweaked the cushioning setup, and I don't
Okay.
think it got a lot of traction. I don't think they necessarily marketed it as a performance, like modern performance sneaker, but it's a good question. Upgrade it with some modern tech and let dudes go out there and hoop.
What's the most New York sneaker?
The most New York sneaker is, generally speaking, is white on white Uptowns, but the Air Force One low.
Right.
But if you can get pretty hyper specific, like I think the Olive 9 is a
Mm.
really New York City sneaker. But yeah, I think you got to go with, it's hard to beat the Air Force One, isn't it?
Yeah. They don't call them Uptowns anymore?
What do they call them?
Forces.
Forces. Okay.
Yeah.
Forces. There you go.
Yeah,
We're
yeah.
outdated. Shit.
Gen Z, they got their own thing going on. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Well, I don't
Yeah.
know what's the one under Gen Z. There's one under there. Yeah,
Is there?
yeah, I think
It's
so.
millennial, right?
Yeah,
We're millennials.
yeah,
And then after us is Gen Z, right?
yeah. What's crazy? I don't want to age us too much, but somebody told me because I posted some content about Jay-Z and Nas, and they said you were with me in high school when Nas dropped Ether. The kid told me, and I was like, no, I was with FOAMER. That's what I was thinking because I
Yeah.
remember we were listening
Remember
to that.
that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, not to age ourselves. This is deep in the show, baby. You know what I mean?
Maybe they're not listening anymore.
no, no one combos court. They're probably listening. But most underrated sneaker ever.
Most underrated sneaker ever. Damn. I'm gonna plug myself on this one, man.
Okay.
Um, the uncivilized sneaker, man.
Okay.
We created a sneaker that is like way outside of the norm.
Right.
Now more brands are doing it. Um, but when we created, there was no really such thing as a barefoot inspired basketball sneaker.
Right.
And now there are, but it's still very, very niche. But I just think it's very underrated, man. It's less about style and more about performance and foot and long-term foot health and all that stuff. We had our first Division One player, uh, he rocks them in games. So
Are the teammates like, yo, like?
I mean, I don't know. He's out
Yeah,
there
yeah.
cooking. He had a game winner. Shouts to DJ Dudley, Louisiana Tech.
Okay.
But the cool thing was he just found them organically and liked them and hoops in them. It's not like,
How'd you find out?
people started tagging me. People started tagging me,
Wow.
and showing me the clip. And like I said, he hit a game winner.
Stories like that feel good,
It was
right?
cool. It's cool, man. Like
Yeah.
it's so hard. People don't realize, or I should say, a lot of people don't. It's hard to create a sneaker, man. That's why you don't see a lot of independent small brands. It's a lot of money. It's really hard. The R&D process, the design process. Like there's just so much that goes into it. Upgrading it, tweaking it, molds to get. You have to have a different mold for every size that you carry. So it's a lot that goes into it. And it's kind of cool that we just started it to try something different and to try to, take a different angle on a performance basketball sneaker. And so, yeah, as far as underrated, because you could talk about, a Kobe or this or that, but the
Or even
truth
some,
is,
or even some Jordans.
or even some Jordans that are underrated. If I were to pick a more well-known sneaker as far as underrated, I probably would bring it back to the Jordan 9. I I love the Jordan 9. Just, like I said, I think it's a very New York sneaker. And I think generally speaking, it's considered one of the, Jordan was playing baseball.
Yeah.
It's not, there's not like the Jordan moments on court in them.
Right.
But for me, there's still nostalgia because I grew up with them. And I think they're really underrated. But I think most Jordan lovers would probably put the 9 at the bottom of the list. And for me, it's much higher than that.
12 has nostalgia for me. I don't know why. I just
That
remember.
12, New
Yeah.
York City classic, bro.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
New York City classic. Yeah, that was like our era too.
Yeah.
Like when Jordan was first coming out with these sneakers and shit, like, we're not old like that.
You're right.
So, what I'm saying? We kind of caught that second wave, late 90s, early 2000s.
And those colors were crazy they were coming out with back
Crazy.
then. The white and red, the black and white, the white and black, all fire.
Crazy.
Yeah.
So, yeah, no, that's definitely you can always tell like what era people came up in, like that look, because of the sneakers or the songs or the movies that resonate,
Yeah, it's
So-
crazy. It's crazy you say that because so much of the basketball takes just come from when you grew up, and I'm starting to believe after doing this for so long, there's no right and wrong. It's
Nah.
kind of like a lot of it's just nostalgia.
A lot of it is pretty subjective. I mean, with
Yeah.
sneakers for sure.
Right.
But even the basketball takes, my brother and I have talked about this. It's like comparing different eras of like Jordan and LeBron and Kareem.
But the way that people attack each other over basketball
Crazy.
takes that are subjective,
Crazy.
it's like I don't respond to the comments hardly. I know you're supposed to because it's good for the
Algorithm,
brand, but
yeah.
it's like I'm not going back and forth with you about this. Come on, man. Like you can't be that mad and get personal. And then when it goes viral, they start to tell you never played basketball, which is crazy.
That's
you
funny.
you
That's
never played
funny.
basketball. And it's always the dude you look at it, they probably didn't play basketball. You know what I mean?
100%. Yeah. People get so riled up. We've talked about this before. Like way more riled up over sports takes than anything else. My only Twitter altercations, I'll say, it doesn't come from sneaker stuff. It comes from sports takes.
Right.
It comes from me saying Bron is the GOAT, or it comes from, some sort of basketball take, and then people just get riled up, man. It's the way it goes.
All right, so I was at a Knicks fan TV party yesterday. I went through some rapid fire questions. So at the top of my head, we don't have to go too rapid on them. You could, we could get into them a little bit, or we could go rapid. We'll see how
Yeah.
it goes. But top 3 Knicks of all time.
Oh, Pat Ewing. Ouch. Okay. Damn, I almost said Allen Houston. I love Allen Houston. I guess I'll go Pat Ewing, Melo, and Brunson.
I interviewed 2 of those guys. Yeah,
Really?
yeah. Because you said Allen. I'm like, I just interviewed him, and then you said Melo. I'm like, okay, yeah. I think I would go. You went Allen Houston as a top. I love Allen, but damn, top 3.
It was first name that came to mind. I mean, now that I said it too, I'm like, yo.
Okay,
like,
here's who I would go with.
Okay.
I would go Melo, Pat Ewing, Bernard King.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean,
And then Walt Frazier, I'm not mad at, but it's kind of back to the nostalgia thing. I just wasn't there, bro. You know what I mean?
I wasn't there. After I said it,
I wasn't there for Bernard. I wasn't there for Bernard, but like you just see he was dropping 50 like nothing. You know what I mean?
I'd have to look at his. So no Brunson.
Nah, no, brother. Listen, I'm lower on Brunson than a lot of people. So that's like the thing that I truly believe that I lean into as well because he doesn't make anybody better and he doesn't play defense. So how are you comparing him to these like Jokic's and SGA's and bro, Knicks fans treat him like prime Michael Jordan. I'm serious.
We do. I mean, I just did. I threw him in the top 3.
Well, no, I think it's actually fair at this point. If he wins a championship, he's definitely top 3, right?
If he wins the championship, he's solidified. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's Pat Ewing is number 1 for me, and Melo's got to be in there. Long live Melo, and then that third spot gets a little tricky.
Melo has to be top 3, and it's kind of like, yes, he's one of the greatest scorers to ever live, but he's like, even though he grew up in the DMV area, he's like so New York at this point. At the same time, he's
Melo is
yeah, that guy's so New
super
York,
New
bro.
York. And he's got
Yeah,
his son now who grew up in New York.
bro, he's killing at Syracuse.
Killing. He's nice. Yo, really quick, I won't go far down this hole, but it's I remember being at a Jordan sneaker wear test. This is what I'm talking about with overlap. And man, Cayenne had to be like 10 years old. And so we were there for Melo's new sneakers, new Jordan sneaker. And they had media and content creators there, whatever. We even hooped a little bit. And then afterwards, Melo was super cool, showed love to everybody, whoop-de-whoop. As soon as it was over, he was like, okay, bet. Cayenne laced him up, and Melo put him through a whole workout. And he's 10 years old. It was at Terminal 23. And he's 10 years
Oh,
old.
yeah. I love that gym.
And he's
Yeah, that
doing
gym,
like,
yeah.
is that
The
gym
only
still there?
the only problem with that gym was, no, it's not still there. They didn't have showers.
Damn, so it was.
But I used to hoop there. Yeah. It was a cool place to hoop.
Musty
Yeah.
on the subway going home. Yo, he's doing like jab, one dribble pull up, like like really elite pro bag. Cayenne is nice, bro. He's nice.
Here's the thing. He always had that skill because of his dad giving it to him and him putting the hard work into it. The thing that changed for him over time was the athleticism for that skill to show. Like, he just
100%.
got a lot more athletic. Like, he wasn't that athletic back then, and now he is, and all
Yeah.
that skill is showing,
100%. He's nice. He's really good.
he's a pro.
He's a pro.
He's a pro.
He's a
All
pro.
right, you mentioned Brunson. Who's the better scorer, Brunson or prime James Harden?
Prime James Harden. I can't. The Knicks fan in me wants to say Brunson, but I think you could argue. I think Harden's prime was really short. Like prime. Like, what was it? Like maybe 3 years. I'd have to look at the stats, but I think you could argue he was maybe the best ISO scorer of all time. Like he was that good. Like, I know that's not a popular take probably, but go back and look at the numbers and go back and watch some of that shit he was doing. He was unguardable. So I got to go with Harden, man.
And on top of that, he was a great passer
Yeah, he was elite.
while being one of the greatest scorers to ever live. And
was
he's even leaning into more of that now these days, even though the Clippers are really bad. But, man, he's one of the greatest passers to ever live and definitely one of the greatest scorers.
Elite.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nas or Drake?
Oh man. Just out of loyalty, I'll go Nas. I mean, but Drake. I mean, it's Drake has been at the top of the game for what, like 15 years now. It's like, I get it with like the hip hop purists, and like it's so different from where hip hop was in Nas. It's kind of like sports, right? It's so hard to compare different eras because everything was different. I just think that Drake's reign at the top is longer than Nas's. I mean, there's no way Drake is
Wait,
gonna
Nas's was short like leprechauns?
well played. I don't think Drake can't outbar Nas, right? But I think
Buddy got bars, though. Buddy
He
got
did.
bars.
he has some
Yeah.
bars.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go. Listen, I love Nas to death. That was like my introduction to hip hop. So I mean, if I rule the world, it's the nostalgia is him. But if I'm being honest, it's kind of like Harden and Brunson. If I'm going heart, I'm gonna take Nas. But if I'm going with my head, I gotta say Drake.
I got Drake, too. I
Yeah.
just listen to Drake a lot more than I do Nas, and I think Nas is great. He probably has the greatest hip-hop album ever.
Not mad.
2 of them. So, but it's funny. I was at the Knicks fan party, and dude, he was definitely a little older than us. I asked him, and he looked at me. He was like such a nice guy, like so happy-go-lucky. And when I asked him that question, he goes, "Are you serious?"
Ready to tear your head off.
He thought I was crazy because
Yeah.
he was like, it was like Nas, and it wasn't even like a question. So it's
Yo.
interesting how people look at it so differently. I looked at him, I'm thinking like, this is my interview. I said, dead serious. I got the
Yo.
clip somewhere,
Yo.
but I'm like, first of all, it is close. I mean, Drake has just had more commercial success.
the old heads.
And Nas has had incredible commercial success too, but Drake is just a different level, bro.
It's a different level, man. He's a
Yeah.
pop star. Also, in fairness, right? When Nas was rapping, hip hop it was still mainstream, but it was way more niche than now. Hip hop is pop. Like
Right.
it's the biggest genre on earth. So I just think it's a
So it's
different,
almost like Nas paved the way for what Drake can do
definitely,
now, you know?
definitely Nas,
Yeah.
Hove,
Yeah, yeah.
all those guys,
Biggie
and
Tupac, definitely Biggie Tupac for sure.
100%,
Yeah, yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah.
So, but man, it's Drake has just look, if we're going to compare numbers when it comes to sports and athletes, right? Why not? You kind of got to do the same thing for artists. Like, just look at Drake's numbers, and it's not close.
The Diddy stuff's not really my lane, but how diabolical is it that 50 Cent is like is like behind the whole thing? Yo, that is like I'm not gonna get too into Diddy stuff, like not my thing, you know.
Yeah, not my
But
thing.
like just like seeing him on talk shows, like serious in a suit, the man behind this doc is like so diabolical.
He is diabolical. Like he is.
And it's like, no, I have no emotions. I'm just here to do business. You know,
Yo,
it's crazy, bro.
pettiest dude on earth, number one. Number two, like elite businessman.
Yes.
Like,
Yeah.
yo, it's crazy to see like what he's turned his career into. Like he's like a mogul at this point.
You know what it is with him, though? It's not even about what he turned it into. He always evolved
Yeah.
from whatever he was doing before hip hop to hip hop to after hip hop to the vitamin water. It's like he never stopped evolving from being a kid and just always getting better and always like, I'm moving on to the next thing before that thing dies out.
Yep. He's done a great job at that and having the vision to like see what's next, not getting caught up. So often we see a lot of the guys, right? Like whether it's sports or music or whatever, like hang on until it's way gone, until you're just a shell of yourself. You've got no motion anymore. And with
Bro, there's
him,
dudes in the gym that tell me, yo, I want to see you under the whistle. I'm like, we're still doing this?
yeah,
Bro, come on, man. Yo, I want to see what. Can you evolve, bro? So you're just gonna wait till everybody stop playing basketball and talk about under the whistle?
yeah. I mean, listen, man. Some people have the vision, some people don't, bro. That's life.
You gotta evolve. You gotta evolve. Okay, I have a few more. Who was more athletic in their prime? We might have talked about this actually before. Who was more athletic in their prime? LeBron James or Bo Jackson?
Man, so Bo Jackson's a little before our time. I'm gonna say, and it's tough too, right? Because we never saw LeBron run the 40. We never saw. I think you got to give it to Bo just because he was a two-sport athlete. And supposedly he ran like a 4.1 or some crazy shit in the 40.
Well, there's a lot of stories that we haven't really seen, right? Like, wasn't he like jumping over ponds and rivers and oceans? And
exactly. I mean, I do think that the two-sport athlete thing deserves a lot of praise because it's so rare to be able to do that. And Bo was an absolute powerhouse. But man, LeBron is 6'9". I mean, LeBron never tested the vert. Like Jordan, we don't actually know what the vert is. But what prime LeBron, his vert is what, 45, 46?
Yeah, I mean, if Jordan was 48, wasn't LeBron jumping higher or no? What do you think?
I don't know, man.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just, it's tough. And to be 6'9", 270 and doing that type of shit. I mean, yeah, I don't know, man. That's a tough one. I'll go. I'm switching my answer. I'm going Bron. Sorry.
Next U.S. born NBA player to win MVP.
Next U.S. born. Let's go. Oh man, I mean, I don't know. First name that came to my head was Cooper Flagg, but
wow. So it's gonna take a little time then, right?
It would take a little time.
Concanoopel?
Concanoopel is
hey, another great take by me.
Yeah,
I said he'd win.
sure.
I said he'd win Rookie of the Year. I said he's Klay Thompson with a better layup package.
Yep, for sure. You did. I took a lot of your draft advice to my dynasty fantasy basketball team.
It's going well for you?
It's going pretty well, man. We've got a nice foundation. We got Cooper Flag. We got
Stick with
Con.
combo. I'll take you places for me. Stick with combo, all right?
100%, bro.
Yeah,
Now
yeah, yeah.
you're my draft expert. 100%.
Okay, so I feel like I found out the reason why people miss on a lot of prospects, and it's as simple as this. I think people value ISO scoring too much.
Okay, I can see that.
I think they don't value the intangibles and making those around you better and feel for the game enough.
Feel for the game. I'm with you.
Because, like,
Feel
look at
for
the
game.
Tyrese Halliburtons,
Yep.
even the Cooper Flags, who's not an elite ISO scorer. Scotty Barnes, not an elite ISO scorer. Jalen Johnson, not an elite ISO scorer. Like, even Concanupo, he's not really like a get in your bag, get you on an island type of guy, but like just valuing like guys with feel and athleticism and feel for the game and passing ability. It's like everybody's looking for the next like kind of like Tatum S type player,
Right.
and not the Tyrese Halliburton type player, you know?
Feel is big, man. And I think also like what we were talking about earlier with guys like Luka and Jokic, like it's a feel game right now. Like it's not, the
When we were growing up, it was
heliocentric
like
stuff.
a get to your spot athleticism, ISO
Right.
scoring type of game, getting
Right.
up and down. Now the best players aren't the most athletic. It felt like back when we were playing, like the best players were kind of the best athletes at the same time, you know?
100%. That was
Yeah.
always the biggest emphasis. And
Yeah.
now I think people have to kind of, correct a little bit in talent eval. And I agree with you, man. Feel and just being able to play basketball at a really high level doesn't get looked at enough.
Best borough?
Best borough is Manhattan, man. Money
Okay.
making Manhattan. I've lived in several boroughs, but yeah, Manhattan, man. Hell's Kitchen.
When you moving back,
Good
man?
place.
When you
Oh
moving back?
man, when that rent comes down, baby. When that rent ain't 4,200 a month, I would love to come back.
Phoebe, thanks for taking the time. You're always welcome back. Where can we find you? Social media and everywhere else?
At Mr. FOAMER Simpson across the boards, Instagram, X, or Twitter. We call it X, Twitter, TikTok, YouTube. Holla at your boy.
Talk soon, bro. Appreciate you.
Thanks, bro.